Everyone says they just want to be happy. That's our goal. Be happy. Find happiness. Hold on to it. But we forget to talk about what actually comes with all that. Because if something can make you feel really good, it also means that it has the power to hurt you. And the more you love something, the more it can break you. Welcome to the bench session, where we unload the weight, one session at a time. I'm Juan, and this is a space for real, honest, and open conversations. The kind we usually only have with ourselves. No filters, no hiding. Just me, a mic, and a bench. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode, another week. This is the part where we sit down, slow things down, talk about life as it really is. We don't pretend. We're not perfect. We don't have all the answers. This is just a basic, real conversation. And today, we're going to be talking about something that I think people don't fully understand. The differences between chasing happiness and finding peace. See, the truth about happiness is a feeling. And I know I touched on this a few episodes ago, but I figured I want to circle back around it. Happiness is a feeling, and feelings don't stay very long. They were never meant to. You can have the best moment of your life and still feel empty the next day. You can win whatever championship, trophy, or title or anything in your career, but guess what happens? You go to sleep, you wake up, and tomorrow's a new day, and you still got to continue the same grind that you did. Doesn't matter that you won, doesn't matter anything. You still got to continue and put your best foot forward. You can hit a goal you've been chasing for many years, and a week later, you're already looking for the next best thing. Okay, that's how it works. Happiness comes and goes. It's just a feeling. Now, love can be the best feeling, and it also can be the worst feeling. So, loving someone is probably one of the best feelings you'll ever experience. It gives your life meaning, it gives you a connection, it gives you moments that you'll never forget. But at the same time, it might also be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to go through. And we all hear that saying, it's better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all. Might be true, might not be true. But one of the hardest things you'll ever have to go through is loving someone. Because if you truly love someone, the story is only going to end in a few different ways. Best case scenario, you loved them until one of you is gone, and then that means that at some point you'll have to live without them. Worst case, you stop loving each other, things fall apart, and now you're forced to walk away from something that once meant everything to you. Either way, love is one of the best feelings and one of the worst. Love doesn't exist without the risk of loss. And that's the part that a lot of us tend to forget. Sure, to death do us part. We all can agree that that's the number one vow that everybody makes when they get married. But do you ever sit and wonder what would happen if your loved one, your spouse, passed away? And I'm not saying passed away when you're both 90 or both 95 or something like that. Just, you're 30 and suddenly pass away. What do you do with your life? You will mourn the death and the passing of someone that you wanted to share your life with, someone that, some people will say they're married to the love of their lives. Like I said, that is one of the most painful things you'll ever have to go through. So, yeah, being happy is just a feeling. Loving someone is something above that. And it is one of the best feelings in the world when you are loved and when you love someone. But again, the more you love something, the more it can actually hurt you. So what is the cost of chasing highs? because that's what it boils down to. That's the trade-off. Every high comes a low. When you're chasing the next great thing, the next big thing, once you get it, there's something else on the horizon. Every deep connection comes with some kind of vulnerability. Every moment of happiness carries a possibility of pain. And if you don't understand that, you start chasing only the good parts. You try to hold on to the good parts. You try to avoid all the downside. But you can't separate the two. They come together. You can't love someone. You can't be happy with someone without opening yourself up to, their bullshit, their life struggles, their mental health issues, the things that they get stressed over, the things they worry about, their body image issues. You can't really love someone unless you love every part of them and understand that, yes, there's going to be some good parts, but there's going to be a shit ton of bad parts too. No one is perfect. You're never going to love every single thing about one another. You're going to find things you hate. But with every up comes a down. They come together always. So you're probably sitting there wondering why this messes people up. So what happens? People start thinking that something is wrong whenever they feel low, whenever their relationship is at a low point because they're bickering or they're not agreeing, they're not on the same page on something. They think something is drastically wrong, like they failed, like they lost something they were supposed to keep. But the truth is, nothing really went wrong. You just experienced a full range of what it means to care, to love someone, to be human. They say that relationships are 50-50, but that's not the case. Sometimes you only have 10% and your spouse has to bring in the other 90. And sometimes you need to bring 80 because they only have 20 left in them after the day is done. And that's the price. That's the cost. That's being with someone. That's a relationship. It's not always perfect, but it's always great. Even on the bad times, you look back and you realize, why the fuck were we arguing over something so stupid? And you get those happy vibes again. And again, with every low comes a high, and with every high comes a low. What you really need to be looking for, what your goal should be, peace. Peace is the real goal. This is, peace is what we're looking for. Peace isn't about feeling amazing all the time. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about understanding that both sides of things exist and being okay with that. It's knowing that things are going to be great and things are going to be shitty, and understanding that that's balance. That's life. That's how it's going to be. It's being grounded. Even when life shifts, even when things don't go your way, even when you lose something you cared about or lose someone you really care about, peace is always going to be there. It doesn't spike like happiness. It doesn't crash the same way either. It's you being at peace with what's going on around you. Knowing that there's things out of your control. There's things that may end just because they're designed to end, and there's nothing you can do about it. Shit happens, accidents happens, life moves on, and you got to be at peace with it and understand it and accept it. That doesn't mean you have to accept that it was, somebody did you wrong and you got to be okay with it and be like, yeah, you did me wrong. It's cool. Don't worry about it. But it's just understanding that there's nothing you could have done to change that outcome. That person, shitty person, was going to do a shitty thing because that's who they are. Being at peace with it. You have to reach a point where you need to choose what you're going to chase. So maybe the goal isn't to chase happiness nonstop, because the grass is always going to be greener on the other side. And if you keep chasing highs, you're always going to have to sign up for the lows. You need to understand that. But maybe the goal is to build a life where you can experience both without losing yourself in either one of them. Where you can love deeply, knowing the risk, and still choose to do it anyway. Not because it's safe, but because it's real. If there's anything you want to take away from this episode, is happiness will come and go. That's just how it works. And the things that make you feel the most alive are often the same things that can hurt you the most. That doesn't mean you should avoid them. It just means you should understand them. And maybe instead of chasing happiness, start building peace. Thanks for sitting with me on this one. If this one hit you in a real way, share it with someone you care about. And maybe even reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Because time doesn't wait for any of us, and neither do the moments that matter. And remember, you don't have to carry everything alone. That's what this bench is for. I'll catch you guys on the next one.